Zohar, I just want to get your assessment and analysis of the events of last weekend. What you thought when it happened, and did Israel know it was coming?
First of all, yes, we know. In this case, not like in October 7, our intelligence community, basically the Mossad and the military intelligence, have done a superb job over here. There is also cooperation, of course, with our colleagues, the American intelligence community, and it seems to me that we gave an early warning, very similar to what happened with the American intelligence community before the war with Ukraine. And we share most of the intel with the public over here, that they will get ready and will know what they're about to face. And in this case, the answer is yes. It's a milestone. It's a strategic event. It's the first time ever that the Iranians from their soil are taking directly more than 300 what we call air breather, that's mean ballistic missiles, UAVs, cruise missiles, democratic country, that they don't have any border with us. And it seems to me that the Iranians this time revealed the truth faces, that they are a very dangerous entity, that if, God forbid, one day they will have a military nuclear capability, imagine to yourself what will happen to the free world.
What have you learned from this event?
That they have no red lines. They wanted to kill as much Israeli as they can. Thank God for the outstanding cutting-edge technology that we and the Americans have, that have the ability to intercept almost everything over here. By the way, huge operation, shoulder to shoulder of the free democratic countries in the world that came and stood by to protect the states of Israel and to help us to protect the states of Israel. Of course, the Americans, the Brits, France, some Arab countries over here in the region, and our outstanding Air Force that is flying F-35s, F-16s. It was great in that way.
There are those who say this was all just theatrics. Iran gave plenty of warning to regional countries, to the Americans, that everybody knew it was going to happen, and also that there were the defenses, that they prepared everyone. So therefore they just did this as a part of theatrics. What do you think?
It's like people claiming that October 7, the Hamas didn't mean to rape and to kill children. They actually did it. The fact that we blew it in October 7 doesn't mean that they didn't mean to do it. Very similar to the Iranian. The fact that this time that we've been ready and have done, as I said before, a superb job, doesn't mean that the Iranian didn't mean to kill as much Israeli as they can. In a way, it's absurd. The Iranian in the last decade used to kill so many of the coalition forces in Afghanistan and in Iraq. So many Americans, Brits, others, soldiers over there. The Iranian right now, they're like the head of the octopus, controlling 5 scenes simultaneously, dealing with you guys in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and in Syria, launching from Syria and from Iraq cruise missiles against us every 5 minutes. In September 14, 2009, in 2.5 hours, killing 50% of the oil production of the Saudis, just like that. They're attacking the Saudis. In 21, 22, vicious attacks of rockets against the Emirates, controlling Hezbollah completely in our border with more than 100,000 rockets, support completely by the Iranians, created the Houthis that right now seizing all the Red Sea, interfering to the maritime shipment all over the world. This is Iran. They reveal their faces in this event. It's a strategic event with huge implication that just started.
When you say just started, what do you mean?
It's obvious. Israel will retaliate, and strongly. After they try to launch more than 300, as I said before, missiles against us, there will be an answer for that.
And that is what the world is waiting and watching. The world is, and global leaders, the partners of Israel are calling for restraint. They're saying, de-escalate this situation. You've been in every one of these rooms for decades. You've been part of every major decision when it's come to intelligence and security for Israel. What are you advising and telling your colleagues now who are making these big decisions?
First of all, my colleagues, I'm not sure that they need my opinion. They're experienced enough and they're doing a great job. But I like it when the Iranian will be in anxiety right now. And it's okay to wait for the time and the right moment when we will feel that we will hit something significant and not just something not relevant to say that we retaliate just because everybody wants to close this issue. I want to leave this account open and to strike and to do something that will be significant that the Iranian will understand. Don't mess with the Israelis. Simple as that. And for the international community, I don't remember that after Pearl Harbor or other attacks in the history, somebody restrains someone. And we didn't done nothing against Iran's soil per se, overtly. And it seems to me that there will be implication for that. When and where, we will choose the place.
Would you say within Iran, now on Iranian soil?
First of all, I don't know. After I'm saying that I don't know, my suggestion would be, of course.
So it's now fair game. Anything and everything is on the table, including targeting nuclear
no
facilities?
doubt. Everything is on the table right now.
Including targeting nuclear facilities?
Including everything. No limitation for nothing right now.
Are you not concerned that that could lead to all-out war, a kind of war that the West, your American partners, are saying they don't want to see? And if Israel does that, President Biden has said that, you know, America will not be taking part in that.
Israel is not the issue over here. Israel is facing since October 7, and even before, the fact that we've done it, you know, by ourselves all the time. We're in a rough neighborhood over here. We have some really, really problematic neighbors over here that are not accepting the fact that we have the right to live in this neighborhood quietly, with our values and more, like in the West. We are the only countries that sharing the same values like Europe or like UK or like the US. It's very encouraging that in the last year more and more countries understand it, and the Abraham Accords treaties just show that they're accepting us in the region. And by the way, what happened during the night of April 14 was amazing, because it was the first fruits that we are seeing as a consequence from the Abraham Accord, meaning that CENTCOM is in the region over here orchestrating all the Arab countries and Israel together how to take the bad guys. And this is only the beginning of a new era of cooperation over here. And if you ask me how I think victory will look like, is if the Saudis right now will join to the Abraham Accords, to normalization, to a peace treaty with us. That will be the biggest achievement and success over here to us and to the region, to show the Iranians, guys, whatever you're trying to do, we'll continue to look for a better future over here in the region.
A major strike back, though, are you worried that that goodwill that was built at the weekend, it will jeopardize all of that?
By those questions, you're trying to, in a way, not you personally, but in those questions are to throw the responsibility on the Israelis. There is consequences to what the Iranians have done. They have to face the consequences. Simple as that. Any free country in the world, after a vicious attack like that, will act like the Israelis. When we will do it, how we will choose to do it, and things like that. I'm just looking about our history in the last 40 years, for example. I don't see that the Israelis are not responsible in a way. We always used to be responsible. Even if we decided to attack in 81 the Iraqi nuclear facility, it seems to me that the responsibility was on the Israeli government. The rest of the world didn't want to deal with that. Same, it was in September 2007 when we took down the Syrian nuclear reactor. It seems to me that this is the responsible way how to deal with bad guys, not to let them to develop a military and nuclear capabilities over here, that tomorrow the Middle East and the rest of the world, the free world, will face challenge that I don't want to see, because we saw the consequences last Saturday.
The Iranians say that their consulate, a diplomatic compound, was struck, and that resulted in one of their top generals from the Quds force being killed. Israel says that wasn't a diplomatic compound, it wasn't a consulate, and therefore they weren't, breaching the Vienna Convention. But it is believed that that was, whatever it was, is a diplomatic compound, and therefore
no, it wasn't.
Israel struck and killed a number of their forces.
First of all, I don't know who struck and who done it. After I'm saying that, for sure it wasn't diplomatic building. It wasn't not the embassy and not consulate. Third, it's very encouraging to listen from a country that used to take the American barracks in Beirut, twice to hit our embassy in Argentina, try to take down the gathering for the Independence Day in Baku, Azerbaijan, India, Georgia, to continue, the Khoba Tower. The Iranians are the one to teach us, after they took so many Marines, from the naval, from the British naval as a hostages in the past. The Iranians are the last one to teach. Not the Americans, not the Brits, and not the Israelis.
Are you disappointed that Prime Minister Netanyahu hasn't addressed the nation at all after such a major attack on this country?
My personal thinking regarding the Prime Minister is irrelevant. It's a free country. This country will have to decide what will be the consequences of this government after October 7 and after what we faced in April 14. It's a matter of time that there will be election again over here. As you know, we have kind of routine, and we like to do election from time to time. It seems to me that the public opinion will have to decide.
There's been a lot of frustration, certainly from the Americans, towards Prime Minister Netanyahu about the situation in Gaza. Do you believe that this Iran attack, while it is an issue that Israel needs to deal with, is a distraction from the issue of Gaza and the fact that attention is moving away from Gaza and how to deal with the number of things in Gaza, the fact that there is famine in Gaza, the fact that the international community is saying Israel needs to do more?
So I don't think that there is a famine in Gaza. I think that there is a lot of exaggeration over here.
By the Americans and aid agencies?
By everybody, but nevertheless, the responsibility is on us. We needed to do a better job regarding how to supply more humanitarian aid to Gaza. That was my personal opinion for months over here. I have to be fair that most of the public opinion in Israel not sharing my thought. Because 70% of the public opinion over here in Israel, after October 7, when we saw what Hamas and the Gazians have done to children and to women, by murdering, by raping, by doing that, they said they don't deserve to get nothing from us. Nevertheless, we understood that we have to do better, and it seems to me in the last 2-3 weeks, mainly after President Biden pushed so hard to push more humanitarian aid to Gaza. We're on the right track right now. There is hundreds and thousands of trucks like every day that is coming from Israel or from all over the international community, and it seems to me it's okay. Regarding your question, yes. Iran have a long history. Israel have a long, not Israel, the Jewish people have a long history. They are not going anywhere, and we are not going anywhere. The first priority should and need to be Gaza, and mainly to bring our 133 civilians and people back home. We are right now on the eve of the Passover, and to celebrate Passover without our people back home, we need to release our hostages. The fact that we are dealing with such a vicious terror organization like Hamas that is not willing to release them, even if we are willing to cut a deal with them, That gives us no room. We'll have to continue the campaign in Gaza. We'll have to take Rafah. We'll have to take everything, unless Hamas will surrender and will give our people back home.
Do you think Israel went too far in Gaza? When we look at the death toll, the humanitarian crisis, that it could have been handled in a different way?
Yeah, to do it faster. Everything that we've done a bit more faster. We have no chance. We let Hamas to grow up as a terror organization since we left Gaza. In 2007, there is no IDF in Gaza for so many years, 16 years, 17 years. No settlements in Gaza. The only thing that we got in return is Qassam missiles and vicious attacks against civilians inside Israel. Hamas military capability, terroristic capability have to be destroyed completely. We need to smash them, and that's exactly what we will do. And then there will be maybe a potential for one day to the PA to come back and to try and to gather some kind of government in Gaza. And hopefully one day it will be a better future. But right now, if we want to see a better future for us and the Palestinians together, Hamas should be going down.
And then work on a path for a two-state solution?
It's too soon to speak right now about two-state solution. We have right now PA in the West Bank that is not functioning, that is completely corrupt. If you see the polls in the Palestinian polls of Khalid Shkaki in the West Bank, 70% of the Palestinians supporting right now what Hamas have done in October 7. We can't speak after October 7 immediately about two-state solution, but as a vision or something like that, no problem to speak about it, and it's a good, but for the time being, this is not on the cards.
There are some who believe that Israel needs to respond to Iran before Passover. Are you of that view?
I'm not in a view to rush and to do some big things just like that out of the sleeves. We need to prepare it, we need to plan it, we need to find the right target. And it's okay that the Iranians will be a bit under anxiety. It's fine, it's okay, it's good to everybody. And we will retaliate on the day and the time that we will choose. I'm not under any pressure or any stress. We don't have to do it before Passover. It's like in 4 days. And if we will do it, it's fine. And if not, it's also fine.
Zohar Palti, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for coming.